Today on the Skid Factory, we're testing out Timmy's home engine building and transmission building skills. Welcome back to the Skid Factory. We're down here at Cleveland Dyno, or Nugget Garage as you might know it. We've got Timmy's Bluebird. We've got Timmy.
G'day, how are you?
We've got the Hoff.
Timmy's always so nice.
It's been a while since we've seen the Hoff.
Hey Hoff, how you going?
Nice to see you.
Not bad, how you going?
I heard Al owes you a massage or something, is that right?
No, it's the other way
So it
around,
is the
bro.
other
What
way
are you
around.
talking about?
Oh, are you sure about that?
I don't think we've been that drunk for a while though.
How you going, Timmy?
I'm good, mate.
I heard you know how to rebuild a power glide now.
I'm far from an expert, but I did get it back together.
Nice.
Nothing broke.
Was that last
Yeah.
night or the night before?
It's last Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a mad rush to get that back together.
Good on you, man. Nice. Is it is this a VQ27?
VQ27, yeah, down on one. Let's hope anything over VQ20 I'm happy with. Oh, we'll see how it goes.
Got the Bluebird bolted up to the dyno. It's almost ready to go. Just doing some last minute fiddling with trigger angle things. Timmy's changed it from a Hall effect sensor on the crankshaft pickup, which is a 12 tooth, and he's put the original reluctor sensor back on there. It's quite often you get problems with crank pickups with Hall effect sensors that aren't designed for automotive use particularly, and even ones that are. If you've got the wrong type of wheel or just things just aren't exactly the way they were in that factory setup, you can have problems with them losing sync. So he's gone back to the reluctor sensor, but now we've just got to change everything in the ECU to suit. So we got edges. It was on rising edge, which is not normally how you would run a reluctor. It wants to be on the falling edge, which means it's taking its sync when it crosses back over zero rather than when it rises from zero. It's a much cleaner way of, if you imagine a waveform going high to 2 volts, dropping down to negative 2 volts and coming back again to zero. You want it to be at that crossover point where it goes down, because that's a cleaner way of doing it with a reluctor. So with a Hall effect sensor, you can do it either way. It doesn't matter because it's a switch, not a waveform. So we're just going to fiddle around with that, get the timing right, and then the Hoff's going to do some magical stuff with his Hoff fingers and his brain.
We just want to get it to a point where we can lock the timing and rev the engine through like 3/4 of its rev range. And
Yeah, so
make
you
sure
want
it
to
stays.
make
There's
sure
no
it's a
drift.
stable. What do you call that? Spark
Just a timing
scatter
drift.
or
I
drift?
call it
Yeah.
drift, yeah.
Timing drift. Yeah.
We went through this with
It's a Bedford.
the Bedford, also the VL. We did the same thing.
I think pretty much everything can do it.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
cars are much better than, some engines are better than others.
With the reluctor sensor too, the faster you spin the engine, the amplitude of the wave changes, and it can change where your trigger point is. So, yeah.
Yeah. And the VQ30? Wait, is it a VQ35 or a VQ30, or what are we calling this thing, Timmy?
It's a hybrid.
It's a VQ35 bottom end with VQ30 heads.
So is it a VQ32?
0.5.
0.5.
Quick math, bro. Quick math.
0.2.
What do you think of the VQ, Hoff? Have you tuned many of these? Do you have experience with them?
I've done a couple of stockers, and then obviously Timmy's one a few times.
Yep.
I think the first time this one was near had some kind of way out timing problem on the cams from memory. And that sort of led us down the path of putting a smaller turbo on it, and then once Timmy fixed all that, it was obviously strangled on the hot side, which is why you guys did all this.
Yep.
So I reckon it should make some power this time.
Right on.
It's a big engine.
1,000 horsepower, bro. 1,000 horsepower.
1,000.
Hoff doesn't get out of bed for less than 1,000, so
I'll take 800, 750.
nine
He is a
999.9.
Usually you're bang on with power figures, Hoff, so what is your estimate?
This thing's made 700 before, I'm pretty sure.
620 is the most we've seen.
Is it? Oh,
With the cams fully retarded.
yeah.
But they're less retarded now than we were last time.
Alright.
That turbo is probably capable of, it's got a smaller rear, 800 tyres, I suppose, the hub.
So it's going to be one fast beige mobile.
You reckon that housing change is choking it enough to drop a couple of hundred horsepower out of it? Would
Which
you
one?
make your stuff made?
It
1,000?
made 930, but I choose
Oh,
I had
930.
I had the converter locked.
Oh yeah.
So it's about 880 without it locked. That's as hard as it'll go though. Actually, no, I lied. It ran out of injector. It's only got 1650s in it. But I reckon it's close to tapped at that.
Is that car making more than 1,000, or do you not answer the phone?
Someone else did. I don't answer phones anymore.
Comes up as a warning.
Yeah,
Warning 400 horsepower.
Warning low power.
definitely the level of cars I have been tuning lately have all been 1,000 plus, which is it's good. Those cars are usually nice to work on.
True that.
High risk.
You don't get some guy crawling around on the ground changing it.
Got to do what you got to do.
If we'd bought this here, we would have been doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
Well, that's kind of why we are here, isn't it?
That's why you own Datsuns.
Maybe it's because we're here. One of the really cool things about the NSP software update on the Haltech Elite and Nexus series is the built-in scope. Super handy for stuff like this. We can see whether we've got the sensors polarity correct. So if you can change that reluctant polarity, it will also be around the wrong way as far as the ECU is concerned. So we're looking at that now. We can see that both of those sensors are wired the right way, and now all we have to do is look at what their voltage peak is, and then we can set trigger arming voltage, so what the ECU can expect to see as far as what that reluctant will output at low RPM.
Crank it, Timmy, give us a... What do you see, Alan?
Hang there or not?
I can see spiky bits going like this and back down again.
Yeah, I'll set it to 20 degrees. Lock at 20.
Sounds like that cam timing's right this time round, Timmy.
It sounds better. It sounds good. Running on all six.
They came on pretty hard then, eh?
Yeah, it came up really good. We'll just see what it does. I'm a bit nervous. I put the motor together myself, so I know where all the bodies are buried in that motor.
Is there any reason why fuel pressure would be dropping really hard?
Fuel pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
You said you cleaned the filter last night.
Clean the filter. I put the fuel cell yesterday. I swapped my secondary pump out for a 525.
Hasn't got like a split hose on the feed to the top of the trailer or anything like that.
Only one thing I can think of, maybe the filter's bottoming out on the bottom of the cell, because before I had no filters. I added filters.
It'll run on both pumps, so I can make it. I know the pump's actually moving fuel. You got 20-25 pound fuel pressure differential.
It pulls it out.
Even with both pumps on.
Yeah, okay. I can take the filters off the pumps.
Doesn't that?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Hot fuel.
The interesting thing is, we wouldn't be able to flow yet on 1525 at
Can
that
you-
power.
Can those filters even, they can like bottom out or
Have a look.
they can't?
I don't know that they can, but it is something I just introduced. I don't think they can by design.
What does the Hoff think? Hoff's got a solution for everything.
I'm not totally sure yet, mate. I'm thinking.
Look, if they did bottom out, you do lose.
Why are we running out of fuel so early?
We could just bypass the main filter. It's not a big filter, but it shouldn't be out of fuel.
My favourite part about the Hoff's dyno cell is that it feels like you're not going to get hit by anything when you're standing out here.
Are you saying there's going to be a tail shaft flying somewhere or what?
Well, we've got history.
It made 550 with that cartridge last time, and we didn't have any fueling issues, so I did swap that primary pump out.
Put that window down. I feel like I'm a cop asking for your registration or something.
You're one of those cookers. I don't consent.
I'm not driving, I'm in a vehicle of carriage. I don't
I'm
consent.
travelling. I'm
You
travelling.
do not have the authority to ask me for my license.
Hey Timmy, are you doing road trip in this thing?
I have entered, yes. Can't
Oh, have
wait.
you entered road trip? Sweet ass.
Which one of your 12 cars are you taking?
At the moment, it's the 10,
What do you say?
KU10.
KE10.
But I'm supposed to be I'm back up there in 2 weeks. I didn't hear any of that.
I can hear you, but your lips are moving, but I can't hear you.
So he said he's entered the KE10, but he should be doing the panel van that he's building. But he might not do the panel van because his bamboo KE20, the OG car, might be ready as well. So he's got options.
And stuff and Max
Yeah, so he's got a date lined up with a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead.
Oh, nice.
Hoff's got the tune pretty well sorted now, and it made 674 at 20 pound. So that's great, and you can go up from there, of course. But the problem is you can't go down from there, and the car's going to get used in sort of no prep racing sort of thing. So you're not guaranteed traction. So what we're doing is actually pulling a spring out. It had about 17 pounds of spring in it. So we've taken one spring out, so hopefully it'll go down to sort of 12, 13-ish, depending on how it feels. So we're just going to change that over, stick it back in, and then he can move on to do some boost control stuff. We'll have better control over it, and hopefully we'll make like, I don't know, 900, Timmy?
900.
Where's the snappage point?
So we've already 674 is pretty good. We've probably already exceeded industry standard for a VQ30 5.2. So we'll just see what happens. They lift heads and they do all sorts of weird stuff with open deck. So see what happens. I'm very happy. I'm going home a happy boy anyway.
Nice.
Not over yet.
Later reminder.
We want to-
Pro tip, when your idiot fabricator put this wastegate buried down underneath the engine and you can't see it, and you've got to do 2 hoses up the top, just a paint mark. Helps you identify which one's which. Stupid fabricators.
Ghosted him. those soft twice.
Into the gas with a turbo compressor. See if it loves it. Give it a try. See if it loves it. See if it loves the Datsun. More expensive than nitrous, probably.
John, thanks, man.
You're all good, right? Don't worry about it.
It's a lot of horse purrs.
It's a lot of horse purrs. It's a lot for a Nissan Elgrand block and crank.
762.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
762.9, bro. That's 763.
Someone asked if the block was fresh or had been seasoned, and it has been seasoned, but the seasoning of the Elgrand block is Colonel Sanders' secret herbs and spices seasoning. It's a proper Maori mover block.
Is that all the stuff you find stashed down in between the seats?
Yeah. It was probably chicken salt dust in the valley of the V6 when I got it. Hand on heart, that motor was, I paid $200 or $250 of a guy named Daniel Ward, and it was disgusting. It was filthy, like the PCV had failed. The thing was just like full of coal and just choked up with carbon.
Are you naming him for a shout out or for a name and
No,
shame?
I got a deal on it. he's a GC, good guy. So yeah, bit of a junker. I'm a bit stoked, a bit lost for words actually. No, it's good. Scott's just a guru. And you guys with your work with the exhaust, and it's been pretty awesome. I really appreciate it.
No worries, Timmy.
Timmy's decided to hold it up right there. It's at 762 or closer to 763 if you want to be really, picky. 25-pound boost, so everything is working really well. G40 seems like a decent thing. The Hoff's got a bit of experience with the G40 on his own stuff.
Yeah, they're a good thing.
2JZ Corolla. So yeah, they seem to work well. It's nice to have something to fill the gap between the G35 and the whatever the 42
It definitely
is.
fills the gap.
Yeah.
So what you end up doing there, you put a bit smaller spring in the gate and back to a 3-port max. So actually we can get down to 15 pound, I think it is now. So there's some control there. And then I've set it up in closed loop all the way up to 25. So Tim can go and put whatever axes he wants in that table and just ask for that boost and he'll get it.
Yep.
Had a few troubles with, I think it was trigger sync, like arming thresholds. And then ultimately at the end there, I think we've got one ring and spark plug in this cylinder that's not gapped properly, so we don't have one to replace it with.
Need to use that gapping station.
So I think that's plenty anyway for what he needs.
Happy?
Coolant pressure's good.
Heads are still on it then? That's
I don't think it's overly aggressive timing wise, so it probably, I reckon it would make 800 no problem.
I just tapped in a couple of numbers into a quarter mile calculator and it said at 707 that it would do a 9.0.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So get onto it, Timmy.
Stay tuned for the next episode of the Skid Factory where Timmy gets the boot.
Sounds like it.
Righto, that's all we got for you. Hope you enjoyed watching the Bluebird do its thing. It's always good to get a good result. Big thanks to the Hoff. We don't see the Hoff enough anymore.
Yeah, let's address that because it's always a comment. This is a 3-hour drive for us.
We
and
still love the Hoff, but he lives a long way away compared to Kai. That's why we go
Yeah.
to Kai.
in a nutshell.
We're all friends. It's all good.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Man, I just want to beat Kai with a 4K or 7K. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yo, 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 yo.
Well, hang on. Which mic are you at?
I don't know. This one.
Me, yo.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
Yo, 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 yo.
Sweet ass. Now Hoff's muted.
Why has it changed?
How's the Hoff rocking the Converse
You locking it out?
tailors?
Yeah, it's locked. But I changed it from.
I reckon he would have been doing kick flips in those years ago.
Well, unless